Sometimes I really wonder what happened to empathy. Over 40 lives gone, children, mothers, fathers gone in seconds, families still waiting for calls that will never come.
I've made a video about Zimbabweans taking South Africans' medication to Zimbabwe and selling it to fellow Zimbabweans. I was labeled a liar, I was labeled a xenophobic, I was labeled all sort of names. But just this weekend...
I thought this was a minor story, but it has turned into something else. So on the bus, there was an accident and 40 people lost their lives. But something else is, apparently they found boxes and boxes of ARVs.
I was at Bridge, the Zimbabwean side, for quite some days. And I happened to visit the hospital, the Bridge District Hospital. I went to the pharmacy. I purchased those items at a cost of $13 US. If you are admitted, you pay $6 for the bed per day, $6 US. For scanning, you pay $20 US. When our women are giving birth at such a hospital, they pay for jik and domestos, believed that they've spoiled the sheets and such sheets needs to be washed.
Sometimes I really wonder what happened to empathy. Over 40 lives gone, children, mothers, fathers gone in seconds, families still waiting for calls that will never come. And the first thing you think about is passports. No, bruh. These were not just passengers, these were people. People with dreams, with laughter, with families, praying they'd arrive safely. Some were finally going home after years away. Some were sending money every month just to make sure someone ate. Some had little kids waiting by the gate saying, Mama is coming home. And now it's silent. Yet you talk about passports. This is the problem, man. We have lost touch with our hearts. We scroll past the pain like it's a meme. We have forgotten how to feel. In Africa, we were raised on Ubuntu. I am because we are. Your pain is my pain. Your loss is my loss. But now it's like everyone's just watching from a distance. Before borders, before flags, before passports, we were people first. Let's not lose our Ubuntu over likes and comments. May the souls of the departed rest in peace, and may we, the living, remember to still be human.
Last week, I've made a video about Zimbabweans taking South Africans' medication to Zimbabwe and selling it to fellow Zimbabweans. I was labeled a liar, I was labeled a xenophobic, I was labeled all sort of names. But just this weekend, the past weekend that we are from, we all saw the bus that was traveling from South Africa to Zimbabwe, carrying Malawians and Zimbabweans with our medications inside. Lots of medications were traveling from South Africa to Zimbabwe. So are you still saying I'm lying even today? You got exposed. I'm not saying I'm rejoicing, but the accident exposed you guys. So where are my lies? Like, where are those who were saying I'm lying? Where are those who were labeling me all sort of names? At the end of the day, I was telling the truth. You guys you are taking our medications to Zimbabwe. You are overburdening our health system. Like, the bus was carrying overload passengers. The bus is supposed to carry 65 passengers, but you guys were 91, including your luggages. Guys, the bag, Zimbabwe. Did you see it? So are you still saying I'm a liar? Are you still saying I'm xenophobic? No, I'm not xenophobic. I was telling you guys the truth. You are overburdening our health system. Even the Premier of Limpopo, Dr. Popira Matuba, mentioned this. So the 49 that is injured, where it's supposed to go? Who's supposed to pay for the medical bills? It's us, South Africans. Our taxes. At the end of the day, accidents and accident. We can't deny you health services, but you are burdening us. Where is Mnangagwa? He's the one who's supposed to be paying all the expenses, medical expenses. But he's quiet. He's not saying anything. Just recently, you were calling us a banana republic.
I thought this was a minor story, but it has turned into something else. If you've been watching the news throughout the day, there's been an accident in Limpopo. Apparently, there's a bus that was from Gqeberha going to Zimbabwe and then going to Malawi. So on the bus, there was an accident and 40 people lost their lives. But something else is, apparently they found boxes and boxes of ARVs in the bus. So this is very weird. The bus is now under investigation. IOL News reports authorities have launched a full-scale investigation after boxes of ARVs, drugs, and other prescription medications were discovered amongst the wreckage of the cross-border bus that crashed on the N1 near Makado, unaliving at least 42 people. The long-distance bus, which was traveling from Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape to Harare, Zimbabwe, veered off the road and overturned late Tuesday night, leaving bodies scattered across the crash site and dozens injured. Emergency teams described the scene as horrific, with rescue operations lasting throughout the night. This is unusual, but we've been known this. We've known this. It has been happening. We've known that there are people who pretend to be sick, go to clinics, collect ARVs, and go sell them across the border. And Zimbabweans, everybody has been pointing out to Zimbabweans, everybody knows about this. So there might be some huge syndicate here, because if they found just some random box on some random bus, imagine cargo that's carrying other things that they think maybe it's just cars or lemons or fruits or whatever, and only to discover if you actually search those trucks or buses or whatever, you might find more ARVs. So man, they need to really investigate, not just this bus, many buses and many trucks that are going outside the border, basically.
I was at Beit Bridge, the Zimbabwean side, for quite some days. And I happened to visit the hospital, the Beit Bridge District Hospital. I have got deaths. I have got the evidence. I have got the stamps. I did accompany somebody who was not feeling well in the late hours of around 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. When we went to the hospital, the nurse wrote a certain prescription and handed over me the paper. And I said, what am I supposed to do here? The nurse said, you need to go and purchase the items mentioned on such a prescription. I said, where can I go and buy them? He said, around here, there are a lot of pharmacies that are still opened. For sure, a few meters away, I went to the pharmacy. I purchased those items at a cost of $13 US. I came back. When I opened the package, there were some items that I recall. There was a pipe for a drip and 2 connectors for that drip, the other one which connects the drip and the other one that connects to the human body. There was also a needle, 2 needles for testing sugar diabetes, if you are to be tested sugar diabetes. Some, they know the health jargons which they use. I fed the acids a lot of people who were at the hospital. Then they told me that here, if you are admitted, you pay $6 for the bed per day, $6 US. For scanning, you pay $20 US. When our women are giving birth at such a hospital, they pay for jik and domestos, believed that they have spoiled the sheets and such sheets needs to be washed. Therefore, today I ask the Minister of Health, I ask the Ministry of Health, I ask the so-called activists, I ask the so-called oppositional political party leaders, and those that are in the ruling part of ZANU-PF, are you aware of that? Why is it that our people are suffering to such an extent? Imagine if such a person have got an infectious disease and does not have the money to pay for medication and for the bed at a public hospital. Obviously, this person is going to die at home. I think this is the main reason some of our people are crossing the crocodile-infested river of Limpopo right straight to the South African side for health or medical attention. At the border Beit Bridge, we've got a port of entry that is generating a lot of money per day. We pay the health levy in everything that we purchase in Zimbabwe. Is health levy. Nearby the Beit Bridge, just a few kilometers away, there is a toll gate, which means there's no shortage of money in Beit Bridge. Again, we have got a pipeline that passes through Beit Bridge to the South African side where we sell water to South Africa. All those economical activities and the mining activities surrounding such an area are failing to benefit and cater for our people. Is this Zimbabwe that is always said, nyika inovakwa nevene vayo? I don't want to mention your names. I know you are so loud. I'm not talking about the negative side of Zimbabwe. I'm talking of reality. Where things are done in a rightful way, I do appreciate and applaud. But we are talking of a basic need of the people. We are talking of the health of the people, which should be free. A child bitten by a scorpion, the parents has to pay for such a medication. How on earth? Why are we bleeding our people? Why is it that the border bait bridge post that generates such a lot of money? Why are we not diverting part of that money to cater for the locals at such a hospital at border bait bridge? Nitulele.